So moving on, there is this find all method, which is part of that regular expressions package. So we're going to use this pretty extensively. So let's see how we can use it here. Okay, so let's say, so to this find all method, we're going to define a pattern, and you give it a text. Okay, so in this case, we are giving this string, this long string, and what we want to do is, so this pattern actually is extracting all the numbers, okay, from this thing. Okay, so slash d plus, we're going to get into that as to what they mean, how that is used. But for now, assume that it's going to extract all the numbers from the string, and when we run this, we see that it extracted 176, it extracted 9, it extracted 2019, 71, and so on. Okay. So find all is a method we're going to use more and more as we go along. Okay. Backslash. So you see this. So we have all this meta characters. Okay. If you want to sort of not have them become active in this find all method or any method you use, you want to sort of escape them using a backslash. Okay. So for example, backslash $A returns a match if a string contains dollar followed by an A. Okay. So dollar, as we know, is a meta character. So dollar is basically something to identify at the end of a string. Okay. So in this case, it's a meta character, but by using a backslash, we are able to escape it. And because we are able to escape it, we are actually able to identify this pattern. Okay. So for example, if you wanted to extract $A from a string, okay, from a test string, okay, you're giving this string as a test string to this find all method with this pattern. Okay, it's able to extract $A. Okay, but if you don't use backslash, okay, it's not going to give you anything, because without a backslash, this meta character, which is one of these meta characters, actually means something, okay, to the RegEx engine. Okay, so that's something to think about whenever you are trying to identify a meta character where you don't want that special meaning to be used. You want to use a backslash. Okay. Raw strings. Okay. So as we discussed, as we just said, it uses a backslash to indicate special form or to allow special characters to be used without invoking that special meaning. The special meaning means without invoking them being a meta character. Okay. But this also collides with Python's usage of the same character, which is to escape. So for example, if you wanted to match a literal backslash, you're going to use double slash, right? As the word, because the regular expression must be slash. The slash is a regular expression, and backslash must be expressed as slash inside a regular Python string literal. Okay. This might appear a little bit confusing. Let's use an example. Okay. So let's say there is a string normal, there is a string called computer, and you're assigning this to a variable called normal, and you want to print normal. Okay. You want to do the same thing by using this R, which tells the RegEx engine that it is use this as a raw string. Okay. Instead of invoking a special meaning to anything in between that string, use it as a raw string. Okay. So it's going to give you the same output. So both string appear similar. Okay. Let's say you have this thing. Okay. This technically means so this backslash n is basically something where you it's a new line. Okay. It's a new line. Okay. I was missing that word, but it's a new line. Python will interpret that as a new line. Okay. So let's say we want to print this. You can guess what will happen. It's going to have hello on one line and world on the other line. So it's going to literally interpret that as a new line. Okay. If you don't want the RegEx engine, okay. So let's say you want to extract the slash n. Okay. So you want to escape that thing, and now you're able to. So between this and this, right? Here it is literally interpreting this backslash n as a new line. So you see hello and world as two words on two different lines. Here, because you are able to escape the special meaning of the backslash n new line, you are able to extract the entire word as is, which is what your goal is. Okay, so if your goal is to extract this entire word, this using this backslash and it's able to interpret that the entire word. Okay, or you can just say that I want to treat this thing as a raw string. Okay, if you treat it as raw string, it will always interpret that as is. Okay, so it's not going to try to infer a different meaning for that backslash n. Okay, so this is just one example. Okay, so ideally what you want to do is whenever you're dealing with regular expressions from now on, okay, just to make sure that you are using the raw string, just to make sure that you want to get the pattern you want to get, just use raw string everywhere. Okay, so whenever you define a pattern in say find all method or the match method, you want to use that as a raw string. Okay, so that's a little bit on these raw strings. I think you can read up a lot more on this as we go along, and as you practice more, I think you will get a decent understanding of how to use what pattern for what matching. Okay.